Hi, my name is Peter, and in this video I will be presenting evidence that I am talking to a spirit on the Ouija board. I expect that there will be some, perhaps many, whom think my evidence is not compelling at all. I think that the evidence, from an objective point of view, is at least lukewarm interesting. Personally, I am fascinated by the results because I am already totally convinced that I am talking to a spirit named Mary. I became convinced of that years ago after the board spelled out that I should keep the Buddha's 4 elements of love. You see, me and my Ouija board partner had never heard of that before. And upon the spirit Mary speaking of it, I Googled it, and it was a real thing. Interestingly, I have since learned that the Buddha's 4 elements of love is a paraphrase of what most Buddhists call the 4 immeasurables. The evidence I am presenting is a blindfold test where someone turns the board to random directions, and I ask the spirit Mary to find the word yes on the board with the planchette. There are only 3 trials in this test because that is what Mary, the spirit I talked to, consented to. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is let you watch the evidence all the way through, and then I'm going to break it down. Here goes. Started.
I started it.
So you're going to be filming this, you know that?
Right.
Mary, are you here? Okay, Mary, here's, when we do this, normally, you don't go all the way to yes or all the way to no when you answer yes or no questions. Mary, we're going to be doing the test now that you consented to, that we talked about. It's going to be 3 trials, and I'm going to ask you to go to yes for those 3 trials while we're blindfolded. So, Mary, if you could, try and go to all the way to, not now, but when we're doing the blindfold test, go all the way to yes, if you can. And she's going to turn the board randomly while we're blindfolded, and then your job is to find the yes. So, do you understand that? You went to yes, and then you went sort of to no, but I know you meant yes. Okay, we're blindfolding ourselves now. Okay, so Mother, turn the board randomly. And then put this in between the yes or no. Oh, no, just put it in the middle of the board, actually. Okay. And then, Leslie, find the planchette. Right there. Okay, so Mary, if you could, find the yes. We're blindfolded now. Did she find the yes?
No.
She did not find the yes. Did she go far away from the yes?
Yes.
She did. Mary, find the yes. Did she find the yes?
No.
That is fascinating. So we'll do it 2 more times.
Okay. I'm gonna undo this a second. Okay.
And then Leslie, find the planchette. Mary, find the yes if you can. Did she find the yes?
Yes.
She found the yes that time. Was she right on the yes?
Yes.
All right, so that's the second trial. Okay, and Mother, do it randomly. This is the last trial. I'm very glad she found it that time. Okay, and Leslie, find the planchette with your hands. Okay. Mary, this is the third trial. Find the yes. Was she able to find the yes?
No.
She did not find the yes. Was it anywhere near the yes?
No.
Okay. Well, we got it once. So now I'm going to talk to Mary about why she couldn't find the yes. That's okay. And you can unblindfold. Let me get my book. You know where the pen is? You know where the pen is? Sorry about that. Mary, are you here? Yes. Mary, so you weren't able to find the yes 2 out of those 3 times. Do you know why you weren't able to find the yes? No. Okay, well, it's interesting data, regardless, because you did find it one time. Do you have any message for me? No. Okay, Mary. I'm gonna turn the cameras off, and then we're gonna see if we can contact my mother's spirit guide. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Turn it off.
Yeah. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about now is about the idiomotor effect. What the idiomotor effect is when people's muscles make motions unconsciously. Lots of people like to say that because of the idiomotor effect, that the Ouija board's planchette isn't being moved by a spirit's will. It is my thought that those people never think of the obvious, that a spirit could be using the nervous system of the Ouija board user to move the muscles of that Ouija board user. The idiomotor effect is real, but it's just being used by the spirit. If you look carefully at the data I've presented, you can see that it is my Ouija board partner's muscles moving the planchette. Yes. It is always like that in our sessions. It is safe to say that it is my Ouija partner's muscles that are moving the planchette. But is it because a spirit is moving them? Okay, so I'll start breaking down my thoughts on the data I've presented. I think that by the end of my thoughts, that you will at least think that the experiment's results are kind of interesting. And now for trial 1. So Mary, If you could, find the yes. We're blindfolded now. So the planchette moved similarly to if the board was not moved at all, which would lead to a theory or hypothesis to think, oh, it's us doing it, basically. And that would be the most Occam's razor's hypothesis. The first trial actually had an A and B part, and here's the B part. Mary, find the yes. Did she find the yes?
No.
For that trial, she even more so moved as if she moved the planchette as if the board was not moved at all. Now for the second trial. You may have noticed that my Ouija board partner took off her blindfold just before the second trial. So, if I were to be strict, I would say that disqualifies the second trial. But I am not strict. And it appears to me that my Ouija board partner was not focused on the experiment and she was oblivious to the board direction. Let's look at the result of the second trial. Mary, find the yes if you can. Oh, okay. So for that one, she found the yes, but my mother had placed the yes in the exact place that Mary was putting the planchette in the last trial. I personally think that my mother was exhibiting bias, and she wanted it to work, so she placed the yes right there. I would have never placed the yes right where the planchette was moving, because I'm more scientifically minded, but she's not, and she placed it there. So it's fun that she went to yes, but it's not that compelling that she went to yes, since that's the movement that our hands move to if the board wasn't even twisted. So that trial is to be taken with a grain of salt, in my opinion. And now for the third and most interesting trial. Okay. Mary, this is the third trial. Find the yes. Okay, so that one was interesting to me because she moved the planchette where the yes would be if the board was normal, but without moving our muscles the way our muscles would need to move if we were playing normally. So what could this all mean? It could mean that the spirit is using a combination of logic and intuition to use the board rather than like her eyes. She's not, from her perspective, she's not like looking at the board. Rather, she's feeling around and using her memory of what is normal, since we're switching up what's normal, and she's trying to find the right answer. Because first she was doing the muscle, trying to find it like that, And then it changed to where she almost like reverted back to where the yes would normally be, if it is in fact a spirit we're talking to, which I believe it is. I hope you've enjoyed my video.